Hey guys, Jeff aka GCurse here. Welcome to another GCurse Reacts. It's Sunday. It is currently 5:18 p.m. Oh my god, it's getting late. I didn't realize what the time was. It is the 2nd of February 2025. I have some free time this evening, so you know what? I thought I'd do a react of something I really don't do reacts that much of, and that's kind of like video game content. And uh the very first system I got when I was younger was the NES. However, the because my mom being a single parent uh at the time, I say at the time like she ended up, getting married, after my dad, but no, she didn't. Due to me, my mom being a single parent, I was not able to get that many video games at the time. And so basically what I was lucky to get like 2 or 3 games at the most each year. Sometimes it wasn't even that much, it was getting a new game for me was like it was either like a birthday present or a Christmas present. It was very rare to actually get a new game that was not related to one of those two major holiday or 2 days, I should say, because like I said, mom, she just didn't have the resources at that time. But so I know that there are lists, like text lists of NES video games. However, I don't want to just look at a list and then have to go and like Google it to see what the game is like. I was on YouTube and I actually came across this video. It's called "The 17 NES Games You Played When Nintendo Launched in 1985." This is done by a guy named John Riggs. And I thought, you know what? Let's see what games came out in 1985 and if I had any of them when I got my Nintendo. God, I think it was back in 88, 89. I'll have to, let's actually do a quick look. Hold on 1 second. I'll pull up the display capture. Okay, so let's do this. Then we'll do this. Okay, so let's see here. God, I think it was 1980, but let's see here. When did the NES? Oh god, I can't recall what the name of the system was. It was a set. It was the power set. I think it was set release 1988. Okay, so let's see here. Now this is what my dad got me for Christmas in 1988. Let's see here if I can pull up a picture of it. It was actually pretty awesome. It came with the set. It came with the here it is. It came with the power set. However, my gun, the zapper from me was the gray colored zapper, but it came with the Nintendo system, 2 controllers, the power pad, and the zapper. But like I said, because of the fact that I lived with my mom, uh, resources were always kind of tight when I was really young. So basically, I wasn't able to get that many games. Let's do this. So 1988. There we go. Let's do this. There we go. I wasn't able to get that many games, so I figured we'd watch this video and I'd give you my thoughts about if I had one of those games in when I got my system in 1988. So let's get over to that right about now. Okay, let's switch over. There we go. And 3, 2, 1.
85 was probably the best year to be a geek. Awesome movies like The Goonies, Back to the Future, The Breakfast Club.
Okay, right off the bat, here, let's go back to this. Hold on.
85 was probably the best year to be a geek. Awesome movies.
I my boss in the classroom that I work with, or the lead teacher, I consider him my boss because he's the lead teacher. He has this very poster here framed on the wall. And if you like the movie, that's okay. You can like the movie. I can't tell you what you can and cannot like, but I'll be honest, I could never understand what the fascination is with the Goonies. I never could, I everything else that he showed right here, I like, so let's get on with it.
Like The Goonies, Back to the Future,
Like
The
it,
Breakfast Club,
like it.
Neighborhood Kids, including
Do they still sell the pogo ball? Because I remember back when I was in elementary school, these things had a habit of the plastic platform around the ball actually coming loose and breaking free from the ball itself. So a kid could literally be bouncing on the pogo ball, and all of a sudden that thing, the panel that you're standing on, literally ship comes off and the ball goes flying. Do they still sell the pogo ball? I wonder. Here, let's do a quick look. Okay, let's see here. Is the pogo ball still in production? Is that the right word? Pogo ball history. It is still available today. Here, let me. Pokeball, also known as Lolo Ball. Let's see here. Oh, this is interesting. Come on. Or Lolo Ball. Lolo Ball, known as Pokeball, Spring Ball. Man, it has a lot of names. Is a toy that consists of a seamless figure 8 rubber ball hooked into a structurally supported sturdy plastic platform. To play with it, one stands on the plastic platform, yada yada yada. That's what I was talking about. But apparently it's let's see, one or more. It looks like it's still in production. Wow. Wow. I'll be damned. I'm shocked. I am honestly shocked. Wow, God. It also kind of tells you how old I am when I remember these things. Holy hell. Holy hell. Okay. There we go.
Myself were hopping on pogo balls. Teddy Ruxpin watched you sleep. We were all eating handfuls of Sour Patch Kids for the first time. And 1985 was the year the Nintendo Entertainment System was released. It launched, get this, with 17 games. Now, of course, the Famicom, the Japanese version, has...
Now, like I said, I did not have, in 1988, I only had like 2 or 3 games at the most. I had the game that came with the system. So I may, I'll let you know if I had any of these games and what my thoughts were.
Well, the Nintendo was released late, I think it was like October, so you had enough to play until the following year. So if you grabbed an NES in 1985, here are the games that you were playing. Make sure you watch to the end too, because you need to let me know in the comments which one was your favorite game in 1985. We had 10-Year Fight from Irene, that's right, the people...
I never played that game, but I think it's on the Nintendo Switch on their online service. I should try it out if it is.
Football game, but it's, could have been better. Well, again, we got in 1985. The game came out in 1983. It's not that it's a terrible game. It really isn't. It's just that there are better football games after this, but in 1985, this is what you had for the NES. We had baseball as well. Could never go wrong with baseball.
That's one thing I miss about the old Nintendo games. Back when games literally was just called like baseball or basketball or football. I think football, they had just a plain name football game. Back when, games literally just had one title. Yeah, I like that. I miss those days.
We had interesting new games like Clue Land. Now, first of all, the name...
I think I seen this on the Nintendo Switch. I should give it a try.
Because you don't really know what you're doing until you just kind of figure it out, And especially with like the weird controls. Like you don't actually move which direction you're going. You're constantly moving. It's your controls that tell you which hand to put out to kind of rotate or pivot around these little pole ball thingies. These little spokes or whatever they call them. So these little coins that you're not really collecting, you're making them appear. Well, they look like coins anyway. And they create a design or a picture. But then you have these little enemies in your way that just, keep blocking you, or you gotta push them out of the way or stuff like that. Every once in a while, like a new barrier will pop up that'll just kind of get in your way. This was a game that I remember not liking back in the day, but I enjoy it more now than I did then. I think back then I just couldn't get a grasp on it. I didn't get it. I was like, nope, I'll move on to something else. But there's a little charm to this game. I kind of like it now.
It looks like a mushroom.
Excitebike was definitely one of the best.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Excitebike. When I would go to visit my dad during, for the holidays, basically my dad had visitation during the summer and on Christmas. When we were going back to his house from visiting family that Christmas, when I got the NES, there was a oh god, there was a children's store that sold toys. It was also one of the. It was at the time that the boom of rental stores were starting to really happen, and this was when Nintendo was really hitting their stride. One of the very first games that I rented for my Nintendo when I was visiting my dad was Excite Bike. Oh my god, I loved Excite Bike. The downside is it was like I think it was one of the very first games at the time that you could actually create your own track, you know. I'm not sure if you can do it in any other games nowadays, but they had a track editor that you could create your own tracks, which was fucking awesome. The downside, you could not save your track at all. So once you turn off the Nintendo, that was it. It was gone. Oh my god, I remember that holiday season. My dad would be asleep after working. I would be up in the morning playing Excite Bike, and I would just spend hours designing a simple course, only for it to disappear after I turned off the Nintendo. Oh my god, why do they not invest a save system for that? Why not? They should have.
Couple ways you can play this. You can just play it looking for the best time, looking for the best track. Even though I'm not super good at this game, it's all about just like leveling yourself so you can just, hit those ramps at just the right angle or land just the right way. Got to use your turbo, but it will overheat if you use it too much, but you can race over these arrows to kind of cool it back down. It's all about getting the timing down and keep on going and just have fun with these little obstacles here. And super fun when you're playing with the computer racers too, because you can like knock them over. Of course, they can also knock you over too, but still. Always a good time with Excite Bike. It's a game I still like playing today. And there is a build your own track. Unfortunately for the NES, it couldn't save it.
Exactly, that's what I was talking about.
It wouldn't save it for next time. They forgot to leave that feature off from the Famicom disk system, I guess. But you can still build tracks and race them while you still have the power turned on. How about that?
Ugh.
We had golf.
See, this is what I was talking about. Back when games used to be just golf or ice climber.
Everyone said they liked, but they secretly don't. Now,
I want to try this game. It's on the Nintendo Switch, so I should really try it one of these days.
In this game, it's not great. The detection, sometimes you float through the blocks. Sometimes you try to land on something you just can't move over in time. This game is very, very frustrating with the controls. This game is addicting, though. It makes you want to keep playing because you know you can do better next time. However, it's just super frustrating to climb all the way to the top. Got these Yeti things in your way. You can bash them if you want. They'll run out of the way. The bonus stage at the very end, you can collect the items and all that, and then try to grab onto the bird here. Yeah, for some reason, classic Nintendo loved their bonus stages. So, Ice Climber, super frustrating, but man, it was...
I really should try it.
Just so you know, the Japanese version of Ice Climber, instead of having Yetis, has seals. Yeah, you club baby seals. Anyway, Kung Fu, another great arcade game that came out in 1985.
Never played it. I do not recall playing this game. It looks interesting, though.
Need to go. You got punches and kicks, and you can jump and kick them in the face if you'd like as well. A little foot sweep if you'd like, sure. Sometimes they don't really attack you. They just like hug you. They just hug you to death. That's kind of weird. But still. The more you work your way up, more enemies appear, more obstacles get in your way. Another one of those games that just, man, you just want to keep playing it. You just want to do better next time, do better next time. Kung Fu's a classic. Little video pinball for you.
Oh my god, I remember renting this game. There used to be a grocery store right across the street. The grocery store is still there, but it's under different ownership now. Back in the 80s and 90s, there was a grocery store called Tops, or Tops Marketplace, or whatever you want to call it. They had a video rental store, and it was like the only video rental store in Kelso that rented Nintendo games. And this is the game that I would always rent because this was one of the few games I could actually get my mom to play with me. My mom, she loved pinball games. So, I would rent this because I knew it was like a surefire way to play pinball. Ooh, soccer. Now, like said, this goes back to that single name again.
Sports. This one's it's still kind of fun. Don't really need to say more about that. It's literally soccer, but there you go. Soccer. Yeah. Super Mario Brothers, don't need to spend too much time talking about this, but I will mention that if you
Okay, so when the Nintendo I got for Christmas, it had a cartridge. It had a triple game cart. It was a triple game cartridge. It had Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, and World Class Track Meet, which used the Power Pad. Each game basically kind of used one of the peripherals. Like so, Mario Brothers it used a controller. Duck Hunt used the zapper, and World Class Track Meet used the Power Pad.
Haven't played Super Mario Brothers in a long time. It's a lot harder than you remember. I'll leave it at that. I remember playing a lot of
I never played tennis. Never even rented it.
tennis. It may be just because it was one of those games that we had, so of course I played it, and you can play 2-player on this one, so not bad. You got a couple of different kind of hits you can do. You can lob it or just chuck it or whatever the case is. I'm sure there's a better term for this too. The scoring system in tennis, I'll never understand with the whole point system. I could look it up, but man, I'm not that interested, I guess. Tennis was fine. Wrecking Crew is a personal favorite of mine. I mean, what's not to like?
I've heard of it, but I don't even recall seeing this game at Tops. And the where I lived, the only stores at the time that sold NES games was KB Toys in Kelso and Target, which was also in Kelso. And I do not ever recall seeing this game in for rental or even for sale.
Screen that's destroyable. Only problem is sometimes, especially in the later levels, like you might break a ladder, but then it turns out you needed the ladder. Now there are other enemies and obstacles in your way, including sometimes a phantom second player that tries to like bump you off the the scaffolding, but of course you can also hit them as well. This game also does feature a edit mode, so you can actually edit your own map if you'd like to challenge yourself or challenge a friend or something like that. 100 levels in this one. I love Wrecking Crew. So happy that it was one of the launch titles, man. And Wrecking Crew is still fun today. I still like this game a lot. Had Duck Hunt, the
Oh, Duck Hunt! That was fucking fun. This was also one of the games that I could get my mom to play with me. However, at the time when I got my Nintendo, I was only like 7 years old, so my hand-eye coordination, even for a 7-year-old, I suffered severe developmental I guess I was developmentally slow when I was younger, and one of the issues I had was hand-eye coordination. I had real bad hand-eye coordination when I was younger. I remember playing this game with my mom, and due to me having bad hand-eye coordination, I would literally stand right next to the TV with the zapper against the screen. I would play the game like that, but then when it would be my mom's turn, I'd have my mom stand all the way back behind me, as far as the cord could go. And she actually play the game like that. She still kicked my ass, which is sad because of the fact I was like literally right there. But due to my at the time my disability, it was just kind of funny, like it's it's some of the more simple memories that I really enjoy that I have with my mom. Yeah.
classic, and if you purchased an NES back in 1985, you 100% had this game. And it's a classic, man. I'm not actually shooting the guns. I don't have my gun hooked up right now. But you know Duck Hunt. You shoot the ducks before they fly away. If not, the dog laughs at you. Yes, the arcade version, you can shoot the dog, but that's a different bonus mode that's not included on this game. And also throwing out there, because I'm sure somebody in the comments will mention it, that yes, you can control the ducks with the first player controller. Either to
I did not know that. I did not know that at all.
the clay pigeons here. And this one I enjoyed more than the actual Duck Hunt itself. I don't know, I just enjoyed this one better. Hogan's Alley, another Zapper game that was super fun. This game
Now, if I remember correctly, I can't recall. Is this the game that was in Back to the Future when Marty McFly went back to the past? If I remember correctly, or to the future, I think it was. A kid was playing a game with a light gun. I can't recall if it was this game or not.
and the trick shot is you have to shoot the can to get it into the different point variables. Just another little bonus game, little extra game for you for the price of your purchase there. Wild Gunman, yet another great Zapper game. In this one, you actually shoot the people. They come out there.
No, I think
all
this is the game.
menacing,
I
and
think
then
this
when
is
they
the. I think it's this game that was in Back to the Future.
timing than about like skill shooting. But you still have to shoot them. Like you still actually have to hit them. And then for the extra mode in this one, this is called Gang. It's just, it shows you like the saloon and they might pop out of a window or something. I do like Wild Gunman. I may have played Wild Gunman maybe I probably played Hogan's Alley more, but Wild Gunman I played a lot. If you had Rob the Robot, you have.
I remember there was a neighbor where my dad lived. The neighbor was the neighbor was financially pretty financially well off, I guess you could say. And at that time, him and their children had every Nintendo game that was out there at the time. And I remember this because I would go over to visit, and I thought it was so cool that they were using a robot, and they were interacting with a robot to play a game. I just thought that was so fucking cool. Now, I remember seeing this on the Angry Video Game Nerd, so that's how I know a lot about this this game. If you didn't have the robot, you could still play the game. But still, it's the thought of using a robot back in 1985 when this game first came out. Yeah. That was pretty high tech back then.
Still. Now you can play this game by yourself without the robot. The second controller, the A and B buttons will raise and lower the different pillars here. Of course, the fun of the game, the reason you want to play this game is to use Rob the Robot to hit those buttons for you, but if you just want to play it by yourself and use the other controller to hit the buttons, you can do that. It's fine. The gameplay, like when you're playing the game, the music that plays in the background music, I guess they call it. Took me long enough to think of what it was. The background music to this game is super, super awesome. I wish they would bring this back in some capacity. And the other Rob the Robot game is Stack Up. Of course, on this screen it says Robot Block. And it's more of a tech demo, I think, than anything else. Like, there might be a game involved in here somewhere, but it's more just, you know, can you use Rob the Robot to do what you need to do for this game? Not fun at all, probably with Rob the Robot too, but certainly not really fun just by yourself as well. It's a tech demo, so I know it's certainly collectible for the NES, but yeah, there's that. Did your favorite make the list? Let me know what it was in the comments. And we've still got to look at NES games from 86, 89, so many more too, so make sure you're subscribed. More videos are coming out real soon.
Okay, so that was it, ladies and gentlemen. I will be right back with my final thoughts. That was a pretty good video to go down memory lane. As you heard in the video, this guy did a lot of these kind of videos. So I plan on going through them all because, like I said, the Nintendo was the very first system that I had. That is the games or the system that actually got me to love video games. My love of video games started all the way back in 1988 with the Nintendo. So I will definitely be checking out those videos later on. But yeah, so I guess that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you like this video. I'll put the link to that video in the description of this video, so if you're curious, you can always go and check it out. And I guess that's about it. If you like what you watch, feel free to click that subscribe button, click the like. If you're on Facebook, I never get these videos uploaded to Facebook. I feel kind of bad because I always talk about Facebook, and it's just that their uploads are so fucking slow. Holy shit. But anyway, if you're watching on Facebook, feel free to click that follow button, and I'll see you next time. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse, wishing you all a great day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.